you know what, you're an handsome bastard, considering you're a big chubster. I mean, come on. It's no fucking wonder she's flying all the way from England tomorrow for you, big man. Is that recording already? All right, guys, how's it going? You all right? Now listen, if you can hear something blowing behind me, there's a joke in there somewhere. That'll be tomorrow. It's the aircon unit. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking you got your aircon unit on, but you sat in a big fucking dressing gown. Well, yeah, it's kind of like a prop right now. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't sit here naked. It's not OnlyFans. Do you know what I mean? What a fucking shit show today, guys, isn't it? Eh? What's it been like today? I got to be honest with you. I thought it was going to go through. I did, and Richard Hughes obviously thought that as well. But it hasn't. It hasn't gone through. When reports started coming out of Spain suggesting that it was off, we were. First of all, I'm very tired. Right, so I can't even say it. It's after midnight, and believe it or not, it's been a busy day. But when the reports first started coming through from Spain, we were streaming live on here, as we do every night at 7 o'clock UK time during the week, and 2 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow. Join me then. We were streaming live, and obviously it was very busy. There was more than 1,000 people on the stream at one point, which is a lot for this old boys non-PC YouTube channel. We keep it real though, don't we, guys? And I said to people, let's wait until Paul Joyce surfaces. Not Ornstein, Paul Joyce. I said, because if it's true, Joyce will definitely surface tonight. If he doesn't surface tonight, just chill. Let's see what happens tomorrow. And he did surface, as you know. So that confirmed that. That's all I needed to know, to be honest with you. So what now? Do you know what I mean? What now? Let me just drop that down a little bit there. I made some notes because, to be honest with you, my head's all over the place. I'm exceptionally tired. And I think that tomorrow we can, listen, tomorrow I've got to be up very early in the morning. I've got to go to the airport. My girlfriend's coming over from England, and she's on an early morning flight. So I'm going to have to be up early in the morning. So I'm not sure what time I'll be able to speak to you, but I will speak to you tomorrow. And then I think it'll be good for us to sleep on it. Everyone's stressed out tonight, understandably as well. And then we'll regroup tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock and then at 7 o'clock in the evening. But we will do a morning briefing. I just don't know when that'll be. I'll probably do it from the airport, to be honest with you. In some ways, I'm glad the news has come out tonight and not while I'm driving to the airport in the morning. But it's important to tell you that's my plans tomorrow morning, just in case you wonder where I am. But we are going to have a lot to talk about this. There is going to be a big fallout from this, I think. And we are going to have to look at every claim that comes out from the club via those journos. And we're going to start with one in this video, even though I should be sleeping now. I feel bad for my girl, because she's got to get up at like 3 in the morning, something like that. 2:30, I think she's getting up. And I didn't get a chance to speak to her tonight, she's not feeling well anyway, but just to tell her, you'll be all right, I'll be here, I'll wake up, do this, do that. I just wasn't there for her tonight because obviously it was very busy on the stream and on the members website. So I made some notes, just a couple of things I want to run, a few things I want to run by before I go to sleep, before you go to sleep. Do you remember when this first came out? It was David Ornstein that said Liverpool have now identified their number 6, which I thought was exceptionally strange because he didn't name who it was. Like journos coming out and say that shows you how the clubs manage the journos today and how hacks, the old-fashioned hack, whether you liked them or not, that would, have the ear to the ground and would find news and run exclusives. That's all finished. The industry's so shit now. That's why there's so, because nobody buys newspapers anymore, which is a shame. I like a newspaper, me. They're so desperate to keep their jobs. You can understand these journalists, they've got mortgages, they've got wives, husbands, kids, whatever. They can't afford to be excluded or shut out. So they have to go now. And they're managed now by the clubs. And that, you know that, don't you? There's no old school journos anymore. So, not football hacks anyway. So, when Ornstein came out with Liverpool have identified their number 6, I thought that was exceptionally strange because he didn't name it. I was like, this is weird. Now, I don't want to get into it too much because I'm too tired, but Ornstein has links to the ownership and the people that run Liverpool Football Club on a daily basis. Joyce is more so just the people that run the club on a day-to-day basis. So Ornstein has that extra bit being able to go to the ownership, if you like. And I said at the time, it sounds like this has come from the ownership. Just the way it was worded. And the next bit was, and that player's not in the Premier League. Why on earth did they need to say it, that bit? Do you know what I mean? I remember saying these things to you, like, it doesn't, just very suspicious, very strange. I mean, but then it's like, okay, so everything's a conspiracy, right? Everything's weird, do you know what I mean? Like, it's not, is it? But it was just a bit strange. I don't remember that ever happening. Like, Liverpool have identified a player, but he don't play in Italy. Do you know what I mean? It's like, who was that message to? Was that to someone in the Premier League, someone that Liverpool have sounded out, but they wanted them to know, hey, we're not bothered about you, we're going for someone else? That's what it has to be. I can't see what else it could be. Or I guess it could be someone in another league maybe where that club might think, oh, they're going for that player in England. No, we're not. We're not going for anyone in the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? There was definitely something behind it. And like I always say to you, all right, whenever you read something that comes from a credible source, I'm not talking about the clicky journalist, the LFC click. If you don't know what I mean by the LFC click, if you're new to my channel, just ask in the comments section and someone will put you right, or I will myself. But there's a clique of journalists that have all piggybacked onto this news tonight, for example, but had nothing to say previously. The only 2 journalists you listen to as a Liverpool fan are David Ornstein and Paul Joyce. You do not need to listen to anyone else. By all means, you form your own opinions and that, but I'm just telling you what I think, right? And I won't even listen to Fabrizio Romano anymore because I've had enough of his shit, to be honest with you. I don't think he knows a fucking thing what's going on at the moment to do with us, to be honest. Someone said earlier, why the hate for Romano? It's not hate when you just pass a comment and say, I ain't got much faith in that person at the moment. People that have been around these parts a lot longer than you, running your mouth, asking questions like that, will tell you, hang on a minute, Dunk's bigged Romano up many, many times, right? So don't come on here and say silly things, all right? It's not hate when you criticise a Liverpool player. It's not hate when you criticise the Liverpool manager. It's called discussion, and it's what grown-ups try to do without, upsetting you fucking idiots. Right, so you do know when I say you fucking idiots, I'm just talking about these casual fuckers that drop in every now and then. My people's round these parts, they get it. So, I don't know where I am now after having that little strop. Romano, I don't listen to him, so I listen to Ornstein and Joyce. So Ornstein starts it off with a very strange thing. And if you go back to the original wording of his article as well, it just didn't sound like football speak. It didn't sound like it had come from the club. So I do think that came from FSG. It could have been a passing conversation. Oh, how's things? Blah, blah, blah. All right, yeah. Do you know what I mean? It just sounded different. That's all, different. I can't prove it. Doesn't really matter. But it did start the mystery off pretty early. I said to you after that, oh, Joyce won't like the fact that he ain't got that. So expect to hear from him next. And not only that, expect him to name who that player is. And what happened next? Joyce named the player, right? And it kind of went on from there. Now, naming the player was an exceptionally bizarre thing to do because you do not put it out there who you're trying to sign, especially if that player has got a release clause or a buyout clause in this situation. It alerts other clubs. Some clubs say, oh, fucking hell, Liverpool have made a move for him. Now we're going to have to go. It's now or never, or maybe a club wasn't interested and went, oh, has he got a release clause, a contract clause? Would have known that in Spain anyway, but you know what I mean. So, but the fact would have it could prompt your rivals to make moves. Very, very, very strange. My second video on this was about that. My first video on this was saying Joyce names the number 6, and within an hour, I think I uploaded another video going, hang on a minute, just calm down. Something doesn't sound right here, guys. Something iffy here. Why are they telling us about this? Because you've always got to ask yourself when a credible source, one of those two, says this, that, or the other, your first thing you say to yourself is, why am I hearing this? Why am I reading this? Who does that benefit? Who does it benefit? In that instance, it benefits Liverpool Football Club, right? For some reason, because they're leaning on Joyce or Ornstein. So Liverpool want it out there, so it's benefiting them somewhere, right? And then you say to yourself, try and say to yourself, well, why do they want me to know? Or who do they want to know? Did they put that they're going for this player just to keep the fans happy? Why would they do that? You might think that if you're one of those people that thinks, hang on a minute, this is just a load of guff. They're making it look like they're trying to sign someone, right? You might think that. And you'd be fairly entitled to think that, especially after last year's Caicedo incident or situation, which was a load of nonsense, a panic move to try and appease Jurgen Klopp after, we think he spat his dummy out over the Bellingham situation, right? That was never going to happen. It was all falling to pieces. John Henry flew to England, if you remember, which when does he ever fucking come to England? He came to England to intervene, and then within no time they were putting a bid in for Caicedo that they knew they couldn't get. So people that remember that might say, yeah, no, this is typical FSG or Liverpool under them trying to make it look like they're doing something. They're trying to sign a player that they know they can't fucking sign, kind of thing. What is funny is that in the 24 hours in the run-up to that name being leaked, his name was the most in demand on social media, because I monitor them things. So there were a number of possible candidates, but his name was the one that the fans were wanting. But that's getting really deep conspiracy to think that the club would just, well, they all want him, let's go for him, or let's make them think that. I can't fall into that, guys. I've always maintained that I think that it's to do with a plan B. In other words, they wanted another club or another player or another agent to know that, hang on a minute, we don't need to focus on you, we're going for him. You get me drift, right? I did a video on that today called Plan B. That would explain my thoughts around that. But it was definitely suspect. It was out there for a reason. It's just who benefits from it. Well, the only people that can benefit is Liverpool. And it was obviously out there to vibe someone out or to make something. Just someone that they've spoken to, like, all right, okay, well, we can't come to an agreement, or it's too expensive, so we're going for this kid now. And they made it known, right? They started off with it's not a player in the Premier League, and then they started off with the naming the player. So those other people go, oh, they're going to him now, right? I need to consult my notes because it's late and I can't remember everything. Now, so I think Liverpool did that to keep someone on the toes. I do. And we talk sometimes, don't we, about players being stacked. That's when the club knows that they can get a player through over the line, through the door. They know how much it's going to cost. They know the player wants it, the agent wants it, the selling club wants it. So they did this last year with Ryan Gravenberch, right? I said it before the window opened last summer. He'll either be the first or the last one in. And it went right through the summer. They know it's there if they want to push it through. And they did. And that's what they did. And there will be players that Liverpool know that they can push through if they want to. Doesn't mean they will. Doesn't mean they will pay the money. It just means we know it will cost X. We'd rather not pay that. We'd rather bring it down 5 million. But we know we can have that player, right? It's a gamble, as you know, because you can push through a deal. But if they then know, if that camp then know that you've lost a deal, right? All right, let me just try again. I'm so tired here. The dynamics can change, right? So we're interested in your player. We know it's going to cost this. But all right, okay, we'll get back to you. They then go off and look at someone else, right? Now that club knows that player knows that. So if Liverpool want to try and push through another option through, one of these options through, They really need to go back and do that before the other deal is out in the public domain as collapsed or it's collapsing, right? So the Zubimendi, it looks like we're not going to sign him. It looks like he might turn us down. Right, let's go back to them. And you can go back and say, right, we're doing business or what? Right, but it's a gamble, because if you leave a player stacked, someone else might come in for him or whatever, right? Now, the dynamics have changed, because the club that owns that player can turn around and say, hang on, things are a little bit different now. We want more pounds. But the thing is, there might be a transfer release clause. Maybe the player really wants to move. I know I'm not doing a good job, but I'm very tired, right? I think I've explained that one, and you know what I mean, don't you? So you stack a player knowing that you can push that player through later, reasonably confident, yeah? But they are going to know that Liverpool have lost this player now, so there could be play a bit more hardball. The other thing is, forget stacking a player. Let's say Liverpool have got plan B and plan C. Let's say it's Ederson at Atalanta, Andre Fluminense or whatever. And, you know, those clubs know Liverpool have gone for this kid at Real Sociedad. Liverpool would know how much those deals will cost, right? They've had some sort of conversation. Maybe they've kept him on the toes. We're now going for this player, right? Are you sure you don't want to come in with a revised offer? Because before we commit to Zubimendi, right? So Liverpool are in a strong position at that point, right? If they want to follow up with B or C, like they were with Jamal Lewis. I keep mentioning this. This is a really good example of how Liverpool do this. Jamal Lewis, we all thought he was going to sign. It was him, and then boom, Tsimikas. What the fuck, where did that come from? That's a perfect example of like what could have played out here. The difference is, Zubimendi, right, it's out there now that Liverpool have lost that. So Liverpool don't have that bargaining strength anymore. They can't turn around him and go, you sure you want us, you know, because we aren't committed to him. Because these can now go, hang on a minute, he don't want to go to you. You're desperate. So things can be harder to negotiate. Are you with me? I know we're all tired, but are you with me? Right? So at the very beginning of it all, do you remember when I said Liverpool need to move fast? Well, this is exactly why, right? They didn't move fast, and that's enabled Real Sociedad to get in his head. That player at some point was obviously up for the move to Liverpool right at the start, or else Liverpool wouldn't have gone in, right? And I said they need to move fast. And then you get like smart asses on here saying, why do they need to move fast? There's a contract buyout clause here at stake, right? It's irrelevant really, because the longer you leave something, the more opportunity gives someone to get in their head, right? So you're having a bit of a ding dong with your girlfriend and all that, like she storms off, right? And she goes to her best friend's house, right? Leave him, he's a bastard, he's a bastard. You got to get in there quick, because the longer her best friend speaks to her, the more she'll get in her head. Get her out, just take her home. Come on, babe, get her home, come on, get the fuck out, right? You've got to act quick. You want a new car. You've been saying to your missus, we should get that new car, Sandra. Do you know what I'm saying? Brian, we can't afford it. Yeah, but Sarah, all right, get the car. The minute she says that, go and get the fucking car. There and then. Because an hour or 2 hours later, she'll go, Brian, we can't do it. So you act. And maybe Liverpool didn't act fast enough, right? Maybe they couldn't do anything, because maybe the player was thinking about this for a long time. We don't know. But you've got to act fast. Do you know what I mean? I said it from the start, and I just don't maybe think that they did. Blame. I've wrote down here, blame. Can we blame FSG? Hughes, even Edwards. You can't blame them if a player is loyal. And in this situation, I'm not going to be like, oh, he was not ambitious, he wants to stay. We're always constantly moaning about players that are not loyal to the club. You know, how would you feel if Trent Alexander-Arnold rejected Real Madrid and said, no, this is my club? Do you know, we'd all be saying he's a fucking hero. That's what you want to hear, right? If Real Madrid were trying to sign him and he was like, you know, chewing it over and that, you'd be like, oh, this is a bit disappointing. You know, you'd want him to struggle with making that decision, wouldn't you? But at some point you'd be like, well, come on. You know. So this player Since he's been at that club since he was 12, he's decided to stay there. We can say he's bottled it, he's not ambitious, but he's turned down every other club too. All right? So I kind of take my hat off to him a little bit. So, you know, fair fucking play, mate. And I'm going to keep an eye on him now. I will. I'm interested now. So, yeah, it hasn't worked for us. But can we be grown-ups about it and say, hang on a minute, we're football fans here. What are them Real Sociedad fans thinking now? We've had Real Sociedad fans commenting on my videos on here. They've enjoyed them, by the way. They're going to be thinking, how loyal is he to my club? He could have took the money, could have took the Premier League, the glamour and all that. But he stayed with us, Real Sociedad. Life isn't all about Liverpool Football Club or the big clubs in the Premier League. So I take my hat off to him. I really do. But can we blame the owners? Can we blame Hughes, Edwards? You can't blame them if a player is loyal. But you can blame them for moving too late in the window. That's what I think. It's very risky. Excuse me. If this was going to bomb, collapse or whatever, I would rather have known about this earlier in the window. They can use the Euros as an excuse as much as they want, but they didn't have to leave it until this late. The Euros has been finished quite some time. So, no, you can't blame him if a player wants to stay loyal to his club, but you can blame him for pissing around and leaving it last minute. You can. I think you can. Let me just consult my notes. Now, something that I've noticed this evening, and you will have seen it too, is that the journals have been briefed that there will be no other move for a number 6. Have you noticed that? That's very alarming. And it's very contradictory, isn't it, to being told that the number 6 is the priority. It was always the priority this summer, but they left it to fucking August to go for this number 6. And now we don't need a number 6. That's one way you could look at it if you were to believe what they're saying. But is it part of the game? Liverpool have just put all this effort into this number 6 and haven't got it. They look fucking idiots out there right now in the football world. There's no doubt about it. Especially this new structure, right? The genius is back. Many fans think the sun shines out of Edwards' arse. I don't. I think he's just fucking... Well, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to be negative much, because the window is still open and they still have time to redeem and to crack on. Let's assess after the window is closed. That's why I'm still reasonably calm about things. But one thing I will say, regardless of what he does in the window, and I know you're going to tell me he's FSG, he's not LFC, no, but he's hired his mates, hasn't he? From the mighty Bournemouth, was it? I can't remember, I'm fucking tired, right? I ain't got no faith in him, to be honest with you. But when things are going right, everyone says amazing, them contacts have got, oh, great. And that's how the mood will change. Right now, we're all like, fuck these idiots. We've got a new structure, and between them, they can't sign a fucking player. You know, and they've got head of this, head of that, deputy this, deputy that. Fucking useless. Anyway, let's try not to get stressed out. So, Lewis Steele, I think he's Daily Mail, right? He suddenly says, Liverpool, they're not going to go for number 6, right? First of all, I won't listen to him. But he's been given he's reading from the hymn sheet, is that what you say? Or he's piggybacking, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if anyone's briefed him or not, or whether he's piggybacking off the rest. Ornstein and Joyce have both said no plans for another number 6. Now, you have to think now, is that true? The one thing I would say is that the club want you to believe that. Well, they don't want you, the fans, to believe that. They want other football clubs to believe that. Because all of those journalists went with it at the same time. So you're going to get Ornstein and Joyce briefed. They're saying it. They've been told that from Anfield. So they want that. The club want that out there. So are they just telling the fans, hey, we're just not going to go for a number 6. We're happy as we are. Or are they putting it out there as part of the game? Because Liverpool now look desperate. So if you've got a club that's already spoken to Liverpool about a number 6, or you have a number 6 that they might come for, you know Liverpool are desperate. So Liverpool have to create the image of not being bothered. Right now, we're not fucking arsed. So the fact that those journalists, the credible ones, and I'm only including Joyce and Ornstein in this, are saying that, means that is the message that the club want out there. So don't necessarily fall for it as being gospel, right? It doesn't, maybe it doesn't mean that's the case. Maybe we won't get one. But Liverpool can't say, if a number 6 comes up, we might go for it. They can't say that. you know, they've got to make it look like they don't want one. So I need to plant that seed in your head a little bit. That's probably the most important part of the video. I know I'm falling asleep, and I'm sorry if my video's coming across as shite. Yeah, the bit here that I've got is they could have fucked it. And what I meant by this was they needed to swoop for the plan B before news broke that this was dead. This is an important part of the video because this is an important message I've been saying to you all along. I've always said to you, I think there's a plan B, right? But they could have fucked plan B now because plan B knows that plan A is not an option. Does that make sense? Plan B, they now know that they're into fucking plan A for Liverpool. Liverpool needed to move for plan B before it came out that had fucked up. Does that make sense? Because they've lost the bargaining power now. So if there is a plan B or a plan C, unless there's release clauses in those situations, they might have to pay top dollar now. If they'd still created the vibe that plan A was still a possibility, that would have given them more negotiating strength with those clubs. I hope you've understood that bit. So the two key points of that: could have fucked it. The plan B, I've always believed it, but you had to go for the plan B before plan A was obviously dead, right? That's the most important part of the video, along with the journalists have been briefed by the club. The club wants it out there that they don't want a number 6. Remember what I said to you? Why are they telling me that? Is that for the fans' benefit or for the benefit of the football world during the market? Yeah, whatever it is, Liverpool are putting that out there to benefit them. They're not trying to help us as fans. They've no obligations to keep us informed of what's going on. So I think that they will continue to try personally. Now, I will go over this more tomorrow when I go to sleep in a minute. I promise you, when I turn this light off in here, I'll close my eyes and I'll still be going over it. And we'll work out tomorrow between us. This is the best thing about being around these parts in this community, that we don't need to do the fancy graphics, the fancy thumbnails. We don't need to be dramatic and be shouting and fucking screaming. You know, we don't need a fancy background or anything because it's just fucking real here. Do you know what I mean? I don't come on here and fucking make out I know everything else. Sometimes I scratch my head and go, I ain't got a fucking clue, guys. Sometimes I do know things, sometimes I don't. But collectively, with your input, we often get things right between us, I think. So we will do that tomorrow. We will sleep on it and we'll see what's what. I will get the newspapers tomorrow, the Spanish dailies as usual. I'm going to keep an eye on the Diaz situation in Barcelona. Not that I think anything's happening at the moment, but I think I'm going to continue buying those newspapers until the window closes. So I will review those in the morning with you. Like I say, my morning's going to be a little bit different. This place looks like it looks like a bomb's in it. My lounge looks like someone's opened the room, chucked a frag grenade in and shut the door. And I've got her coming here tomorrow. There's all sorts all over the floor. I've got to get tidied up before she gets here. She's not quite like, she's not my wife, you know what I mean? So I can't, expect her to do it. No, this is a modern channel, all right. I'm a modern man. I do my own fucking cleaning. Anyway, my late mum, she brought me up, right, to never be dependent of anyone. It's true there. She said that to me. Never be dependent of anyone, son. And what she meant by that is you don't need a woman or anybody else to help you through life. I mean, you do need a bit of company in that and the odd wang. Not by you. Can you imagine what my videos would be like if I did these after a drink on a Saturday night? You might need the odd helping hand. But what I mean is, I can look after my fucking self in that department and all. No, just my mum taught me how to wash, cook, iron and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, she's coming tomorrow and I need to make sure it's tidy. Do you know what I'm saying? Not in my look. Remy, I was going to call him Rodders then. Not in my look. Remy will have the shits in the morning. There'll be fucking all sorts. Tyre will be flat on car. Everything will be fucking going wrong in morning. Everything's gone wrong today, ain't it, guys? Sorry if I offend you sometimes. I'm really not sorry at all. I couldn't give a flying fuck. Because I tell you what, anyone that's that wet on here shouldn't be on my channel, that is for sure. That's why these other numpties get lots of people watching the videos, because they've got all the fucking, you know, people that just nod and want all the exciting stuff. At least round here we keep it fucking real. There's something wrong if you're a fella and you don't want someone to give you... It doesn't matter. What's this message here? Paul Ray, at Paul Ray 11 on X. He's a KopTalk VIP member. He's been a big supporter and big helper over the years. He's replied to me on X at Duncan Oldham, and he's put, not bothered, not asked, not interested in LFC transfers at all. FSG has sucked the life out of it. I'm sure the spreadsheet boys will continue to blame Klopp. LOL. How right is that? So, are we done? I think we're done. Just reading some other replies. I'm sorry if this is a dreadful video. I'm fucking knackered. And I'm depressed. Pissed off. I want it to happen. More so for you guys. Honest. You know, listen, I'm not as like passionate about it all as I was years ago. But you know what? I've always said that's probably because, you know, doing KopTalk for 26 years, you learn a lot, and you realise that the heroes are not really your heroes, most of them. You realise it's all about money. You realise all the negative things. And it kind of, I'm no longer just that football fan that I was when I started it as a hobby in my early 20s. Done it all, season ticket holder, shareholder, met all my heroes, everything, done everything with KopTalk. And over the years, I've lost interest. I'm not as passionate as I was. I got married at Anfield. I know some of you go, you've told us all that, yeah, but we got new people here. I got married at Anfield, at the stadium, at the ground. My wedding reception there followed everything. 24th of July, 1999. You couldn't get more red than me. And in recent years, I've lost my interest in it. And I've always tried to put that down to, oh, the game's changed. You know, I think that's just me trying to make excuses. Oh, it's because it's KopTalk, you know, because now I've got pressures associated to supporting Liverpool, because Liverpool, if they're not doing well, if people stop watching my videos, like now a lot of people be watching my videos, right, because we've had something to talk about. But are they loyal? Will they still be here on August 31st, 1st of September? Or will the views decrease? What do decreased views mean? It means decreased revenue, which means more stress in my life. Like, how am I going to pay this? How am I going to pay that? This is real. This is reality. So when you've got stress associated to supporting the club and football, it kind of turns you off a bit. So I've been convincing myself that's why I'm not bothered anymore. I'm more bothered about Liverpool winning things for you than I am myself. But it also coincides with FSG's ownership that I've been turned off. And I've had, you know, thousands of KopTalk VIP members over the years. And, you know, the main message is why they want to cancel their membership when they do. There's two reasons. There's always two reasons. One of two reasons, I should say. They either say, Dunk, I've been made redundant, I've lost my job, or I'm cutting back, or we're having a kid, I can't afford it, blah, blah, blah. To which I always reply, I'm not letting you leave. I'll extend your membership for another year, let's review it then out, you know, don't worry about it. Because I don't want good people to leave. They supported me when they were all right, and then when they can't afford it, I just go, all right, see you then. No, I never let anyone leave. And I've always done that because I always think, well, maybe when they're on the feet again, they'll buy me a beer, right? So that's one reason, financial reason. Do you know the other reason? Not interested in that anymore, don't, since these owners. They always say it. These are level-headed people. These aren't your numpties on social media that are running around like headless chickens. These are mature people on the members' website. They aren't kids. These are fucking proper people. Not wrong with being a kid, but what I mean is they're mature, so they're not going to be hysterical over things, and you know what I mean? They tell me that. No, my heart's not in it anymore, don't. Fuck it. Rather watch my grandson play football or my granddaughter or something like that. So I understand them. So my support has definitely, my support has definitely eased off under FSG. But I always try to convince myself it's for other reasons. This is why I'd like to see FSG sell up and fuck off. Because they kind of spoiled it for me. And judging by the comments tonight, it spoiled it for everyone else. But the top Reds will come out now and say, you're all being pathetic. Player didn't want to come to us. There's so many days left of the window. Even if we go on and sign 3 players, great, whoopie woo. But the point is they still put us through this in the first place, and they will do every year. What was the suggestion from Wolves when Liverpool were talking to Wolves? Wolves were pissed with Liverpool because they're always trying to get stuff done on the cheap. Let me refrain that. They never said always. The email said they're pissed because Liverpool are trying to get stuff done on the cheap. Liverpool might go on and do some really good business this window. I'm hopeful. But we still have the right as supporters to say, why are we being run so amateurish? And we are. But we will forget this in a few weeks if we sign another Endo or Gravenberch, because last year people felt like this, then we got those kind of deals, and then people are happy again because they flip-flop. But I don't. I don't. It's just annoying to see. And for once, I just wish Liverpool would go out there, do something at the beginning of the window, and just like, you know, leave us with a smile on our faces. Can you imagine if they unveiled Nico Williams or something like that? They could sign Nico Williams, I reckon. Well, could have done. But they didn't attempt to. Too expensive for them. Because they try and do everything on the fucking cheap. Then they'll convince you that Wataru Endo is going to, you know, lead Liverpool to all these different trophies. Now, it sounds harsh. I know you're going to say to me, hang on, Dung, he hasn't done that wrong. You're right, he hasn't done that wrong. He's a lovely kid, sucky, long time. If you don't know what, we did a video about this last year. This is not like, do you know what I mean? So don't start caps locking me to death. Unless you understand the little joke there, you will. Just calm the fuck down. I know you're stressed. Right? But what I mean is, when you sign players like that, right, he did a job and he's done a good job. But is he the answer? Is he the long-term answer? Lovely lad. We all love him. Right, apart from Miserable Martin. Red Raw LFC. Search Red Raw LFC on YouTube. Right? But Klopp came out, didn't he? Oh, I've always wanted him. Yeah? Well, you're only fucker that did. Because I didn't see Man City throwing money around to get him. Or Arsenal. Or Tottenham. Or Man United. Anyone. It sounds harsh. I know it sounds harsh, but sometimes you've got to be honest. Right? I don't want us to be fucking around like that anymore. I want us to go out there and buy fucking world beaters sometimes. Not all the time. Not 100 million pound players. Even Jurgen was fucking helping them fuckers when he was coming out with that shite. I've never seen it or heard a Liverpool fan ever say we should be back signing 100 million pound players every fucking year. One exception, well, 2 exceptions, but one was never going to happen. One's Mbappe and the other was Bellingham. A player that would have changed everything for us. The owners, they're happy just to be in the top 4. They're not going to spend more money to get that number 1 spot when it doesn't make much difference to the finances. So we have to accept it. Well, we don't have to accept it, but we will. Because someone said on the stream today, people need to protest, blah, blah, but they won't. They won't do that. They won't do that. Because the majority of content creators, if you want to call them that, these YouTube Liverpool accounts, they aren't going to do that. They're not going to criticise because they're making thousands from it. You know what I mean? They'll be a little bit critical, but they're not going to lose their access and things like that. Same with the journalists. It's just all a shit show. The amount of people that spoke to me recently about saying, oh, I'd like to create a new YouTube channel, I'd like to do that, but I don't know where to start. Please do create a new YouTube channel. Anyone can do it. Oh, I'm fucking living proof of it. Yeah, do it. Because the majority of these people are what I describe as top reds. And there isn't the voice for people like me, out-of-towners. Yeah? When it comes to out-of-towners, don't take that as people in Liverpool don't want you, because they do. It's only a particular type of Liverpool fan that don't want you. And we don't give a fuck what they think. The majority of people from Liverpool, they don't give a fuck where you're from, as long as your support is good and sensible, and rightly so. I've always thought that the Liverpool fans, the local fans, were the soul of the club, the soul of the fan base, and that the out-of-town fans were the heart of the fan base. Maybe you don't get that. But an out-of-town supporter can never understand the same support as someone born there, raised there, rivalry with Everton, different people in the family supporting Everton, red or blue, whatever. It's impossible to ever say that you can have the same. But the two work together and the two need each other. But online especially, there is different groups, and they're the ones that usually hate on me. It's true. And I've done for decades, because I'm not from Liverpool, you see. So we need to have a bigger voice. So if you're one of those people going, I'm fucking sick of this, don't leave it to someone else to do it. Don't turn into a fucking lunatic either and start going on fucking everywhere, going FSG out, because that'll get you nowhere. Just make you look a plonker. But what you can do is you could start up a YouTube channel. All you need is fucking, I don't know, Gmail account. I don't even know how to do it. Just start one up. You got a mobile phone, haven't you? Well, just say I'm a bit disappointed about this, starting you, but you can do it. The more of you that do that, that's what's going to make a difference to you and to the whole situation, should I say. Collectively, you have a bigger voice. You know what I'm saying? So, enough rambling from me. I'm disappointed, but I'm not throwing the towel in yet. I'm confident, I think, that we will do something this window. If it doesn't happen, then we'll get the tripod out on the fucking 31st of August. And that's not a euphemism. People know what that means around here. But it won't be on YouTube. We'll have to take it somewhere else. You can't say anything on YouTube now. I've always thought there's a plan B, and I still think there is. I just hope they haven't fucked it and lost that negotiating power, because plan B now knows plan A is gone. They have to put out that they're not interested in number 6, because they can't let people think they're desperate. I don't think this is over. I think we will still see stuff on here, so I'm falling asleep then. Tomorrow I'll be live at 2 and 7, even though my chick's here. I'm not going to abandon you guys. I know you'll say, fuck it, don't go and spend time with your chick, but I can't do that, guys. And she wouldn't want me to anyway. She wants me to stick to my responsibilities. We'll do a morning briefing. I don't know when it'll be. And we'll be live on deadline day regardless. We might as well put ourselves through that, haven't we? Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for thumbsing up my videos. Have you thumbs up the video yet? Be ever so nice if you would do that. Apparently that's what all the young kids say. Personally, I don't give a fuck. Just being honest. Drop me a comment. I'd love you to drop me a comment about all of this today. I'm sorry if I'm droning more than I usually am, but I'm tired and disappointed. But we go again. We'll go again. Please read the video description. You can join the chat room. Right now in the chat room, we've got a KopTalk chat room. There's 300-400 people in there right now, because I had to look before I come upstairs. You can join it. You can leave anytime you want. Read the video description. Tells you the different ways you can support the channel membership, all that wank and shite. Thanks to the channel members. Thanks to VIP, but the VIP members are they're the VIPs, definitely. And if you want to buy me a beer or a coffee, hit the super thanks button. I'll give you a shout out tomorrow. I'll tell you what, loads of people supported my streams today. Fucking loads, most ever. So it's nice. It's good, I appreciate it. But remember, don't cost you anything to leave a comment. That's supporting me. And your voice is fucking important. So don't just sit there and let everyone else do it. You speak up and express yourself. What do you think? Why did we have all that weird stuff? Ornstein at the beginning, Joyce the next day, dropping that this is the player we're trying to say. Why did they do that? Do you think the fuck Plan B now, that Plan B knows Plan A is dead? Or do you think there might be a release clause there? What was, guys, I can't remember. Did Edison have a release clause? I can't remember, it's too tiring. What you should be doing, have a mooch around and see what the contract release clauses are on other number 6s that are being linked with us, isn't it? Do you reckon they'll go for Inacio now? They need to do something. Because there'll be fucking hell on. There'll be anarchy. There'll be anarchy at the end of the window if they don't do something. They have to do something. And plus, Richard Hughes and Edwards right now look absolute numpties. They really do. Guys, I'm sorry if I've waffled on. I'm going to sleep now. I just got me Liverpool out here, and I'll see you in the morning. All right. Well, suits me, don't you think? Good night, God bless.